Week number 14. Chicago Bears versus the Houston Texans. Chicago Bears defeat the Houston Texans 36-7.
Yeah. I'll take it.
I had to wear my
How's
club
everybody
hat.
doing?
Got the club hat on today for Club Dub.
All right.
Yeah.
Club Dub over today.
Club Dub.
So, welcome to the Bears Banter, where the Chicago fans meet to talk about the Bears. Today on the broadcast, we have Jaye Beasley, Guy Moore, Donte Williams, Tammy Harris. We have Mike Alton and Keith Flournoy. How y'all doing today?
Great.
Man,
I'm
good.
great.
I'll take it.
Nothing like a victory. Yeah, man. I went on made Mike come back, man, because he needs to get rid of that double-headed coin he got.
hey, wait, look. Hey, what's crazy, I did select the Texans on Friday, but not today on this parlay ticket, baby. Get that money, baby. Get that money.
I know that's right.
I didn't trust the quarter. Right. I didn't trust the quarter when it came down to real money.
Hey, you know what that was? Caveat.
Yeah, right. Jaye Beasley caveat, baby. Jaye Beasley caveat.
He jacking for caveats instead of beat.
Hey, man, today is a great day. We got the Bears winning. I got the parlay ticket on fire. Just got the new Jordans walking in the door. It's a good day. I mean, I can't beat it.
Hey, you know what, man? It feels so much better to come on this broadcast and talk about a W than to talk about another loss, man.
Absolutely.
It feels great, man. Like Mike just said, Club Dub is back open. But remember, Chicago, the restrictions is only for Club Dub.
Right.
Right.
Do not
anybody else like to say anything before we jump into the regular part of the broadcast?
You okay?
God is good.
Yeah.
God must be a Bears fan.
They was in while you said that, guy, while you was out, they went to that synagogue this morning, man.
Stickity bum. I know Jake. I know Charles Leno called me to borrow my church shoes, but I ain't asked. I said the voicemail.
Yes.
He's probably needing church shoes.
Man, that was a great day. Great game. Way to beat up on some people.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, so today, this was actually the first complete game, in my opinion, all season, where all three phases of the game actually played. I mean, you got touchdowns for the offense, you got sacks from the defense, you got turnovers by the special teams. I mean, this is Bears football. This is what we're talking about. Now, I don't know if this is because it was the 35th anniversary of the Super Bowl Shuffle. I don't know, but whatever it is, they need to just do this over and over.
You was actually playing against the 31st ranked defense too.
Right.
I mean, let's keep it real now. They was playing against the 31st ranked defense.
Jaye,
I'm world class. I love running, but I love to catch the
Hey, so we're gonna turn it over to our intern, Donte. Donte, if you could do a recap of the game. Hold on, let me pull this up. Terry, hold on, let me do this because it took us out the stream.
No,
there you go, Donte. You can take it.
Yeah, so I agree. This is probably the best complete game the Bears have played. Mitch Trubisky, you can't ask for a better game from him. He threw for over 200 yards. He had 3 touchdowns, no interceptions thrown. And the Bears just played a complete game. Rushing yards, 169, and 113 of them yards came from David Montgomery. Then you had even the pass yards, 241 yards, and 123 of those went to the wide receiver, Allen Robinson. So, and they had 0 turnovers, like I mentioned. So this is the best complete game the Bears have played all season. Deshaun Watson just couldn't. He didn't have his pieces today to work with. He still threw for over 200 yards, which is really impressive. But the Bears got it done today. It's the best game they played.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's a real good report, Donte. Hey, you know what? Let me bring that back up again. I want to look at something. Okay, of the 169 yards rushing, how many of those yards were by Montgomery?
113.
113.
113.
Okay. No, it was 113. I'm sorry.
Yeah, hey, Plank, let's bring up that video of the Montgomery run that showed how we were setting the tone early in this game.
Got it.
Okay, hold on. Let me get the right screen. I'm going to have to rewind.
Look at A-Rod running down the field with the block.
11 seconds. We can play it again.
Pay that man his money. Pay that man his money.
Pay that man his money.
Pay that man his money.
Jackson in pursuit.
I'll take it.
Yeah, you know, I want to point out that this is actually, I believe, the third game in a row that on the first possession by the Bears that Montgomery broke a long run. I think the other two previous times he didn't score. But whatever they're scheming on that first play since Laser been in charge is working. You know, and where I think it was one game, it was 57 yards. First play. He broke one last week on the first play, and he broke an 80-yarder today. So whatever the scheme is working because teams have a lot. The Bears have popped that first one, so that's a great job by the offensive line and the offensive coordinator to be able to scheme up a first play that works that great. You know.
I didn't think he had the speed for an 80-yard touchdown though, so he proved me wrong today.
Yeah.
Hey, he was struggling playing on that one.
He was. He had a piano on his back, but it was okay.
Yeah, but the Holy Ghost was pushing to the end zone.
Hey, Mike, I think they might have been in there. What you were saying, skippity bomb. You know, maybe it's in the locker room.
But you know what? To even go further, he runs that 80-yard run. And then on the next possession, they put Cordero Patterson in. I'm still kind of confused about that. I don't understand this man. He just ran 80 yards to the house. I heard Hawk Harrelson saying, "You can put it on the board." Now Cordero Patterson's in there, and I'm like, man, does he have some pictures on somebody or something? What's going on?
Hey, Donte, I see your father down there making comments. There's Dante's father who attended Western with me, Jimmy Williams. He said Montgomery is getting better. Hey,
we knew. Yeah, what's good, Dad? I see you just texted me on my phone, so I mean, this the next best thing right here. So I mean.
He's checking up on you. He's checking up on you.
That boy is a superstar. He's good. That boy good. He good.
Yeah.
So
you got to feed a good running back. You have to feed your horse. You got to keep feeding him.
We been knew he was good though. They starting to figure it out now. So
yeah. Hey, let's jump into the bragging rights right quick. You know,
brag.
Yeah, the bragging rights.
Good. I'm good. That's my height, so I'm cool. Okay. I'm straight.
Oh wow.
So I have Tammy at 5 and 8, Jay at 5 and 8. I'm at 6 and 7. Guys at 5 and 8. Plank is at 7 and 6. Plank that took the lead again.
Right.
Donte. Yeah, great job, everybody. Somebody has a caveat sound like
this week you don't get to talk about. I think they're a 6 and 10 team. You got to retire that.
Man, I still think they're 6 and 10. You
can't have it both ways. Nope.
Until they get to game number 7.
You can't pick them and then say, "Oh, I think they're gonna be a 6 and 10 team." So come on.
Well, you know what? I didn't pick them this week. If I picked him this week, I would be tired with you.
There's the bragging rights, right?
I would be tired.
Man.
Hey, okay. Hey, let's move to hey, Donte, your whole family checking in, man. That's nice. Got a fan club there in the family.
Family support.
All Bears fans. I mean,
that's beautiful. Hey, let's start off with the first question is, how was Trubisky's performance today? Who want to start off? You got a guy? Okay, let's go.
I will refrain from any intricacies or any type of analysis. When it comes to the offense in general, I'm going to just say Tammy. What happened to Mitch Trubisky is basically what Tammy was talking about with Laser. We talked about this all the time as far as we know what Mitch's limitations are, but they kind of like put plays out there just to put plays. And it just seems like he's more composed when he took time off. And like Jay and I were talking before, you can tell that when he wasn't on the field, Bowles was starting, this dude was studying. I mean, his check downs, he was hitting his check downs. He was looking up at his checks and his receivers were covered. He was running. He made a couple little mistakes, but no picks, 3 touchdowns. Dude did a great job. I'm gonna give him an A. Gotta give him an A.
Okay, you're gonna give him an A. Hey, who's up next about Trubisky's performance today?
I'll take it.
Take a play. Okay.
Hey, this is a rarity, but I have to parrot exactly what guy had to say. I'm going to give him an A as well. He was pretty consistent in the passing game. He had his head in the game. I actually saw Trubisky look off a couple of throws and throw it in the other direction, which is development that traditionally he hasn't shown. So, kudos to Tammy talking about the difference with Laser out there. You can actually see that he's coaching him and playing to his strengths much better than what our man Nagy did. So Trubisky did a great job. And he showed up Deshaun Watson just to shut up a couple of the critics. So it's a big day all over for him.
Okay, that's a great point. Hey, who's up next? Tammy, you up?
Yeah, I'll just piggyback off of what both of them said and what somebody said in the text messages, and I don't remember who it was, about play calling makes a difference, and that kind of goes to what Keith said about coaching to somebody's strengths. And it also goes to what Jay has been saying since week 1, coach the game in front of you, call the game in front of you. I think all of that is coming together, and Laser is probably making the needed adjustments to address the players that he has and not the players that he wants. And I think whenever you are playing to people's strengths, that allows them to shine no matter what the sport or game is. So, I mean, I would give them an A2. I'm proud of the offense they coming together, and I still truly believe that we could have won more games with different play calling if Laser was in sooner, and that we would have really been in a playoff position if these changes had been made earlier.
Okay, that's a great point, Tammy. Hey, I want to say this right quick. I agree with you, Tammy. What I saw today in Mitch was a guy that looked like he was hungry. He looked like he knew what was going on in the offense. Unlike, I hate making reference to a person not playing, but Nick Foles didn't look like he even knew the plays at times. I saw, to be honest, maybe this is what Nagy was saying one day after one of the games. He said, "You're looking at your wristband." He said, "You're looking at your wristband." It makes me think something because Mitch, a couple of times I see him say, "Kill, kill." He killed some plays at the line of scrimmage. He audible some plays. He put guys in motion. Previously, and now this could be all falling on Nagy too. I don't know, but when Nagy was calling the plays, they never went in motion. They never highly killed the play. So Tammy's hitting it right on the head. Hey Jay, you're up.
Mrs. Performance today, I give him an A. Because when I got home, right. When I got home and I watched that drive, he went 7 for 7 on that second touchdown drive. He's just playing with a lot of confidence. I can just see how he's grown throughout that time that he got benched, and it's showing on the field. It's really showing on the field. He played with a lot of confidence today. I think he threw in a double coverage maybe one time. It might have been triple coverage when you shot to hit Patterson on the sideline. But other than that, he was surveying the field. And hitting, like y'all say, he was hitting the takedowns when he didn't have nothing over the middle, when he didn't have nothing downfield. So he actually played really, really well today. And if he can continue that with these next 4 games coming up, he might find himself a little bargain basement contract.
Okay. Hey, Donte, you're up.
My dad actually made a comment I actually agree with. I feel like most of Mitch Trubisky's snaps, he knew where he was throwing the ball to. They were quick snaps. And you can see him and Allen Robinson's connection. Obviously, Allen Robinson had 123 yards, so you can see the connection between them. And like I mentioned earlier, Mitch Trubisky had no interceptions. He threw for 3 touchdowns. And you can't really ask for nothing better than Mitch Trubisky. I mean, he got sacked a couple times, but that's the offensive line. But I mean, I'm gonna have to give him an A. I think this is the best game he had all season. And if he can keep this up, I think the Bears can potentially make the playoffs.
Okay. Hey, Mike, what you have, Mike?
Well, just piggybacking off of everybody else, I think the Bears did a very good job of putting Mitch in positions to be successful. And that was one of the things that they weren't doing before. And if you look back, and being a former athlete, if you get benched, it's a hurt feeling.
Yes, it
and
is.
it's like, if I ever get the chance to get back in there, I'm going to prove you wrong.
Right.
And I'm out on a mission. Mitch has scored 30 points in the past 2 ball games. And he has that connection with Robinson. Like Donte said, Nick Foles didn't have that connection with anybody. And I said that before. If Mitch gets back in there, he's got to feed Allen Robinson, and he knows who his ball players are. I've been one of the biggest Mitch Trubisky's critics. I'll go on record today. Mitch was in there praying in the synagogue, like I said last week. Mitch gets an A from me, and he has proven his worth in Chicago right now. I know we played some really bad football teams, but those throws that he made today could have been made against anybody.
Yeah.
Hey, Plank, we're gonna bring up the Mooney play, and hey, Jay, if you could do us the honors, and you bring
that's your boy. That's your boy.
Okay,
boy Mooney.
Here we go.
All right, Jay, you ready?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready. Okay, watch the motion. Watch the motion. He comes out. Look at Allen Robinson with the block. Oh, that's textbook. That's textbook. That's textbook.
Speed too. He got that speed.
That's textbook.
That's understatement. That dude's a road runner.
Yeah, he almost looked like me. He almost looked like me in high school.
I said the same thing. I was like, that was me in high school.
Right. Just give me a block.
Hey,
you know what? Point. There's AR blocking right now. He's got his man covered.
You want to go back? Hold on. Let me go back to it, Plank. Bring it back up.
Okay.
There we go.
He's got the pass. Look at AR downfield blocking.
Downfield blocking.
Good block.
Downfield blocking.
Hand fight, no hold, Mike.
Yeah.
He sees it, and he stretches it out.
Not only AR on that play, but Anthony Miller throws the first key block. The first cut block. So the whole receiver trio makes that touchdown happen.
I take it.
Yeah, hey, you know what? I want to point something out as being a former running back and always studying running backs when I see them. I wouldn't be surprised Mooney was a running back at some point in his early career, because Mooney actually read those blocks perfect. A lot of times when you see NFL running backs, my criticism of a lot of NFL running backs, soon as they break outside, they run out of bounds. Mooney actually went outside, dipped in, which caused the defender to move in some, which caused AR to be able to kind of shield
the block. Yeah.
And then as a good running back, you read your blocks on the shoulders, right? And as your blocker shoulders turn one way or another, that is how the hold is. But what I see a lot of running backs do is they just run out of bounds. He actually read that block, and on that last block, as AR was turning him, he was right there in that corner. Man, that was a beautiful run by him too, man. That's call. That was
No holding call on that play because the feet were still in connection.
In connection.
Hey,
remember
good
that.
point.
Yeah.
Hey Mike, I've been thinking about that all the time. I went to work this morning thinking about. Mike said, "Hold it." Mike said, "Watch people's feet if they hold it." I've been thinking about that all day.
Yeah, me too.
That was amazing, man. You know what? And now we're gonna probably go on for the rest of our lives watching football, looking at that because I was doing it all day today. I was looking at it, was like, and when Leno did it, I was like this. If we did a great job, but he had to get his one off, man. He's like, look, I'm gonna give you a whole call. We just win.
Holding number 72.
Hey, Mike, you hear me sitting up here while I watch the Friday show again? You got me up here singing, "Holding don't mean a thing."
If I don't have you, come on, Tammy.
Here we go.
Hey, I put my steppers hat on because I knew Tammy.
Hey, let me
was
go
gonna
to this
sing
commercial break right quick.
Love don't mean a thing. A little something for the steppers. The new upcoming release by Tammy Harris coming to you this Christmas.
Love don't mean a thing if I don't have you. If I don't have you, love don't mean a thing. Love don't mean a thing if I don't have you. If I don't have you.
Hey, Tammy, when you come inside, that's gonna be me and you stepping in that moonlight. I like that.
I'm actually trying to figure out if I'm gonna try to shoot my video in Chicago next month when I come, so I can get some real stuff.
Okay, cool.
Wait, y'all know Brian, who went to Lindblom too. Brian is my cousin, and he has like trophies. He's like a serial.
Oh, really? Oh, I was just saying.
Kudos to Brian. Shout out.
Brian Parker.
All right, buddy.
Brian Parker.
Okay.
91.
Hey, yeah. So let's move to the next question, which is an overall evaluation of the offense. How did the Bears' offense look today? Hey, Plank, you started off.
I'm going to start off with efficient. I mean, some of those plays that they ran, there was a good flow to it. There was some consistency. Even when they ended up replacing Montgomery and put Patterson in, Patterson came out and made a couple nice runs. So everything that they did, this was a full game. Cole Kmet really showed up big today as well. He looked like a bully against a bunch of kids on the playground. How he was catching the ball and running over those DBs. So I think the Bears offense, I'm going to have to give them an A today. So I'm absolutely doing that.
Hey, Plank, it's good to see that the person who was getting bullied finally decided to bully the bully.
Bully back.
It's about time.
Bully back. Yeah, because they've been getting bullied ever since the Rams just took their lunch money. So they came back fighting today. Hey, Tammy, you up?
So Keith's word is efficient. I'll say my word is rhythm. They found their rhythm. They were in sync, and they looked good. They were efficient, like he said. They moved the ball well. They had good play calling, and they executed, effectively. So, I mean, I'm happy. I mean, even though it's the Texans, the win feels way better than what the last 6 weeks have felt like.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. Hey,
by the way, Bernard,
huh?
Trubisky is 3-1 this season.
Okay.
I know that surprises a lot of people.
It sure does.
Okay.
Modern day Rex Grossman.
Right.
He's not that bad.
You notice that though, with Rex Grossman, it was like he would look up like, man, what's up with this dude? You look at his record, it's like he got how many wins?
I would get a Bears offense A today.
Jay.
Yeah, I know. I'm surprising y'all, ain't I?
Christmas, okay.
Right.
Coffee. What are you drinking?
Yeah. Efficient is a good word to use. And I don't know, a couple of weeks I was telling y'all how when Nagy was calling the plays, it was like a smorgasbord. It was like he had no rhythm. And Laser has a rhythm. He has a rhythm, although he kind of strayed away from the run a little bit in that second quarter, going into the third quarter, but he has a rhythm, and he has a rhythm that's working for Mitch. I see him rolling them out, getting them out of harm's way. So they played well today, and I would have to say the play calling and the selection at the time that he called the run versus the pass was actually pretty good. So I got to give him an A. I got to give him an A today.
Okay, you giving him an A. Hey, what about you, Guy?
Well, here it is. I gotta give him I can't give him one word. I gotta say they were Mike Tyson. And the reason why I say that, remember, all these boxers will come out with all this old crazy music. They got the little floating on the pinatas with the big hat and the mariachi band. Then Mike come out with just like a white little toe up shirt and some shorts, just come walking out. That's what the Bears did today. Dude walked up to Cole Komet and said, "You gonna eat your cornbread?" He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna eat yours." And I was looking, and here's something that for the first time today that I saw with the Bears offense that I've not seen. They made adjustments. You ever notice like teams would have guys come in, the defense would come in and blitz them, and to negate that, they would keep a back in the backfield. Today, they kept a back in to either fake a block, to shed a block, and every time they would pop out. And he would have like 3 options. He had 2 tight ends or sometimes 4. 2 tight ends, a back, and a split. And it was like he always made he made great plays. And the other thing that impressed me about the offense, not just with Mitch, was how cohesive they were. It was like everybody was just up, man. It was like, let's go and do our thing. A whole bar, A+.
Okay. Hey, you give them an A+. Hey, I get the Bears offense an A also today. What I was looking for the word on Friday in the pregame was analytics. I actually was saying stats, but I meant the word analytics. The Bears play calling today, they were playing situational football.
Absolutely.
What they had been doing in the past was playing analytic footballs, where they just analyzed it, looked at the wristband, called plays, right? Regardless of what was going on. Today, they was playing situational football. I give them an A. I mean, matter of fact, I'm going to give them an A-. The reason I don't give them a total A, because of that second half, still in the third quarter, even though they got some points, it was only 3 points. They only got 6 in this whole second half. So that's why I'm going to give them an A- instead of an A. Hey, Donte, you're up.
But being called a total A ain't always a bad thing.
I'm about to say aggressive will be the perfect term for the Bears offense, because the last couple of weeks we've been saying they haven't really been playing with aggression. We obviously been getting on the defense. The defense hasn't played too well. The offense actually has been there, but the offense really didn't click, and mainly in the second half. So I already mentioned about Mitch Trubisky earlier. He threw for 267 yards, no interceptions. And then you have to look at the offensive line. I think the offensive line did a solid job. They freed up David Montgomery, and he ultimately had 113 yards. And then you have to look at Allen Robinson. He ran great routes today. Mitch automatically knew where he was. So I think if you look at the whole offense as a whole, even Darnell Mooney, he had a couple of good plays. So I feel like if you look at the whole Bears offense, everybody was aggressive today, and that's how they came out with the win.
Okay. Hey, Tammy, did you go?
Can I just add something real quick? To me, when I see Mitch in there and he and Allen Robinson, what I really think about is when Mitch came in as a rookie, it just seems like when he came in, he finally came in and got the play. It seems like to me that Allen Robinson was like, look, kid, this is what we're going to do. This is how I'm going to be. This is how this goes, because they have great chemistry, man. I don't know what else to call it. Great chemistry.
Hey, Tammy, you're up. Did she freeze?
I think Tammy
she froze, but Tammy went.
Yeah.
Tammy went. Okay. Hey, Mike.
I went.
Okay.
Tammy was aggressive as the Bears offense today. I'm going to be like that teacher in kindergarten, and I'm not going to give out an A, B, or C grade. I'm going to give out a satisfactory grade. The reason being is that they put together 2 really good games since Mitch has come back. I'm looking to see more. I want to see if they can sustain this against the Vikings next week. You still got to take into consideration they beat up on a dismantled Houston team. I know I sound like a hater, but I am. But that's okay. But I'm looking to see more and more of this. I mean, this is what we've been asking for. Lazic has come in and has reestablished the offense, which is good. Put Mitch in some really good positions to be successful, like I said before, to make some plays. And it seems like now that the guys on offense want to play because Mitch is in there.
Okay.
And
Yep.
Hey, we mentioned a lot about Allen Robinson. I want Plank to run that video of Allen Robinson. Hey, Guy, if you don't mind telling us what you see on this Allen Robinson play.
All right, let's go real speed. Ooh.
Pay that man his money.
Let's do that one more time.
That's what I see. Pay that man his money. But this is just always Allen Robinson. But like I said before, with Mitch, it's like he's more confident. He's getting the ball quicker. Allen's always been running these routes. He's always been able to do this. It's just a matter of getting the ball to him. But here's perfect right there. Is that like a slant?
It was, but look at that move.
Yeah. And
And
it's like I said a couple of years ago when Allen Robinson signed here. I would be sitting in Soldier Field like, throw it to number 12. This dude is always open. Allen Robinson is always open. Even on the contested, I mean, he might lose some contested balls, but Allen Robinson is always open. He's always open. That's the kind of receiver he is.
Jay, he was good for some yak today. That's your favorite saying, ain't it?
Hey, yak.
That yak.
Hey, Jay, I know you can appreciate this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go back to the video for a minute, and Jay, I want to point out something that I noticed, and I know you're gonna love this.
Mm-hmm.
Can you go back, Plank? Go back one a little bit.
Oh, thank you. So,
okay. What I see here, the ball is being thrown on time, right? He's about to release it. He's coming into his break. Now, watch what Allen does when he's anticipating he's about to get hit. It's beautiful. Watch this.
He catches the ball. He tugs it.
He tugs
makes a move.
Now, he extends the ball, Jason, in case he got tackled. He extends the ball.
Extends the ball.
So he can make the first down. But the guy missed the tackle.
Absolutely.
So that's beautiful running on his part and awareness. Unlike last week where he was unaware, if he had got tackled in that play, he would have made the first down because
he still would have had the first down.
He extended the ball, and that's what you expect your top receiver to be aware, especially when you want that money. And we've been, look, dude, we've been your agent all year.
Right.
Pay that man.
Right.
Pay that man his money.
Somebody had a conversation with him in the film room, and he saw that last week, and he made the adjustment.
Hey, we gave him a hard time last week as well.
Yeah.
So I think he responded to Bears Banter as well.
Right. Hey, let's move over to the defensive side of the ball. I know this Plank must have loved this performance today, where they shut down a team, they sacked the quarterback. Hey, Donte, how many sacks was it today? Did you have it?
I think it was 7, I believe.
Seven. Okay. Hey, Plank, how did the defense look today, and how you grade them?
Well, you know what? I'm going to stop differentiating between offense and defense. I think Tammy said that a little bit earlier. Some other people said this was a team win. The defense definitely did show up. 7 sacks, 2 defensive turnovers. You know, Khalil Mack looked pretty good. The defense came away. The defense scored. So we're talking about a safety that put the other team in a bad position. So before I'm starting a defense, offense, I'm going to give them an A as well. 7 points in an NFL game, that makes a difference. But this was more than that, an entire team win. So that's my position on that.
Okay, it's an entire team's win. Let me bring up who's up next. Hey, Mike, what you going?
Man, I was watching the game like, who are these masked men? Where y'all been all year? You know, like, what's going on? Like, and my boy Buster didn't play today. He didn't play today. Buster didn't play today. And they held him to 7. I'm just saying. Hey, the defense looked very good. They were making sacks, dancing around. They were just having a ball out there, and they were making plays. That's all. That's all you need. And Buster didn't play.
Okay.
You remember
Hey,
that.
Dante, we gonna bring him up because it looked like you owe some people some coffee, Dante. So
How did this even come to belt? How did this even... Oh my goodness.
Shit.
But I'm gonna have to agree. Khalil Mack, you know what he did today. Roquan Smith, I think he played really good. He had 8 tackles today. And Mario Edwards Jr. played very well today too. That's a player that doesn't really see too much time, but they stepped up today and they held them only 7 points. So man, I think that's all you can ask from the Bears defense. They played great. A+.
A+. Okay. Hey Tammy, how they look to you?
They look like the monsters of the Midway. I'm gonna say I agree with you guys what you said earlier that this was like the first true complete game that we had where both sides of the field showed up, and special teams also, and 3 sides of the field, but all sides showed up and did their part, contributed to the win. I love when I see our defense play like our defense. They were aggressive and not passive and sitting back. It was refreshing to see. So I mean, I give them an A, and today was more like Bears football that I love.
Okay, hey Jay.
I give them an A as well. Finally, they got some pressure on the quarterback, and they got pressure on a mobile quarterback, which is which is kind of hard to do. But they had 7 sacks today, a couple of forced fumbles, a safety. I mean, good tackling. They broke a couple of runs, but outside of that, they actually played pretty well today. They held them under 250 yards of total offense, which is and 7 points, which is hard to do in an NFL game. I mean, to hold a team under 250 total yards in an NFL game, that's big. So I give them an A today. They played well. They really played well. The defensive line, they played well. Brent Urban don't get enough credit. This dude really plays ball. He plays ball. Mario Edwards, as Dante said, he had a couple of sacks today. Yeah, they were good today. So I have to give them an A. I really have to give them an A.
Okay, yeah, man.
Yeah, Bernard, I forgot to mention they actually came up with some big stops inside the 1.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
So let's not forget that. So
yes, they did.
Hey, guy, what you got, guy?
Gotta give him A, man. You know what? Real talk and all BS aside, man. We get on this show and we're always getting on these guys, and we get on because we care. A lot of times we look at guys and we wonder if they have any type of fortitude. Do they give a damn? You guys came out and played today like they really, really cared. And I think that when Montgomery ripped off that 80 yards, it just energized everybody. And it just seemed like from that point on, guys were playing up. Although they didn't score. They did score the 3 points in the third quarter? They scored 3 points in the third quarter. But, you got to give your pluses where they are. Those guys showed up like they weren't trying to just be a lottery team, man. They had some pride on their shoulders. I got to give them an A. It was a team win, but just like you say, it's like a yin-yang thing. Offense comes up, gets guys charged up, defense comes. So, hey.
Okay, yeah, those are great points. Hey, who did I miss? Mike.
Mike, yeah.
I went already.
You went already?
Oh, yeah, I went early.
Oh, you went early?
Yeah, I went early like Sunday morning.
You went
really
early.
Again. Okay, there you
go. He was like, boom.
Yeah, I just went 2 times. You didn't see just like that.
Hey, I get a defense. I get a defense at A today. They really showed up. They put pressure on the quarterback the whole game. They shut down the running game. They did a terrific job. This is what they've been lacking the last 6 weeks. So it was a great job by the defense. And also, I just want to note and say this right now. I want to thank everybody who's watching us live on Facebook and those who are watching us at YouTube. And it's time for a quick commercial break.
They pulled this off tonight.
Bears Banter, where the fans go to share their views on the Bears game. 2 days before the game is the prediction show. Tune in at 7 p.m. for Football 101. Be sure to catch the post-game show 30 minutes after each game on Facebook and
One thing I would say about the
YouTube.
Bears,
You too can be a part
every
of the
screen
Bears.
is in your
Be sure
playbook.
to like,
Just burn
share,
it.
and subscribe
Burn
to
it.
Bears Banter
The
on
Bears
YouTube.
cannot run a screen.
Hey, the Bears did run a couple of successful screens.
Yeah, they did.
I was so thinking about you, Bernard. I'm like, ooh, Bernard. They ran a couple of good ones today.
It took 13 games to
It
finally run a
only took
screen.
13 games. It only took 13 games.
Right.
Hey,
Hey, as long as you get it right. I mean, because
as long as you get it right.
As
long as you get it right.
is the perfect thing for your line cannot protect, and when the team blitz, and when you can't run a screen, you don't have a chance.
Yeah.
So anyway, hey, let's move to one of the final questions that we have today is how do you grade the coaching staff today? Hey, Donte, you up first.
I'm gonna actually have to get in that guy. Hey, I don't know. They showed a couple of clips. I think when David Montgomery scored the touchdown, he was hyped on the sideline. He was even dapping up the players on the bench too, trying to keep them hyped. And I think as far as play calling, he did a good job, putting Mitch in a good position to succeed. And the Texans coach, I'm about to give him a F. Honestly, he was on the sideline, just looked like a statue. He really didn't move at all. I mean, I know that's their interim coach, but I think Nagy outcoached him today. He did a very good job putting his offense and his defense in a good situation, the whole team. So I'm gonna give him an A.
You'll give him an A. Hey, Tammy, what you give him?
Overall, I'll give the coaching a B plus. I mean, there's still room for improvement, but overall, they coached a great team on both sides.
I love it.
What?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
But we still at times move away from what's working, although thankfully we didn't do it a lot in this game. But I just say it's room for improvement, and I look forward to Laser calling the rest of this season.
Okay. So we got an A and a B plus. Hey, Mike, what you have?
Oh man, I'm gonna be a hard critic on the Bears because I think one game I keep going back. We beat up on the team we were supposed to beat up on.
Absolutely.
And so I'll give the offensive coordinator an A. I got to give Pagano an A, and I'm never grading Nagy. I'm not grading Nagy ever.
Because Nagy nags you, right?
Nagy nags me, man. He's like a tick on the dog's butt, man. It's like we do this. How do you do something right? And like Tammy said, you're doing it right. No, let's just try this. What are we doing?
Right.
What are we doing? I think we should send the Bears Banter film to the Bears office every week because they actually listened to what we said they needed to do in order to be successful and win the ball game. Everything that we said, they actually did. And so I don't know, Lori Lightfoot, Mayor's City of Chicago, listened to me, and I told Lori she had to open up Club Dub, and she said, "I got you." So I give Pagano an A today. He sent a lot of pressure today too at Deshaun Watson. He sent the book at him and busted in play. That's why he was able to send it because he didn't have Boston playing. But offense, defense A.
Okay, I'm going to give most of the coaches an A. As a matter of fact, I'm giving this a team victory. I'm going to give all the coaches an A. We're talking about offensively, good flow, good continuity. The running game finally got 100-yard back. No turnovers on offense. Mitch did a good job keeping the pace of the offense. From a defensive standpoint, 7 sacks, a defensive turnover. Then we're talking about also a defensive safety, as well as a goal line stand. And from a special teams perspective, Santos is the most efficient kicker that the Bears have had in a long time. and they came out with a fumble recovery on special teams. So all around, I'm giving the Bears all of their coaches an A for the day. This is a game that I saw as flawless.
Okay, you give them an A. So you got what? Two A's, a B, and hey, Mike, what you give them? A no grade? Grade
No,
on
I gave offense an A and special teams an A, but Nagy won't get an A.
Oh,
for
Nagy
me
didn't
ever.
get a grade. That's what it was.
Until he leaves.
Dang, Mike.
They got a B plus.
Okay.
B plus. Okay.
Don't forget the plus.
Here you come, guy.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Defense, A. Offense, A. Nagy gets an incomplete because he dapping folks up and trying to bust a move, and he was on beat. You don't get a break. It's like, you know what? It's just like that dude. It's just like y'all like cleaning up a yard or something when you were a kid, and everybody get a quarter, and it's that one little dusty friend of yours is laughing at y'all, and at the end he comes sliding in with his hand out like this. That's Nagy. You don't get. I mean, but you know what? Because we Bears fans and we do think Nagy a punk, but he's the Bears coach. We gonna let him go in there and let them decide on what grade they want. But you know, we got to get Laser A, we got to get Pagano A, we got to get Nagy, whatever the hell they want to have.
Hey, Jay, how'd you grade the coaches?
I give Nagy. I'm sorry, I give Pagano an A just for bringing pressure against. just for bringing pressure against a mobile quarterback, I give him an A. Laser, I give him an A as well. But overall coaching, because we played the Texans, and I'm like Mike, I'm a harsh critic. Y'all know me. Because we played the Texans, we did what we were supposed to do. So on a scale, overall, I'm gonna give them a B. But the offensive defense, they did play well today. They did play well today. But I'm gonna give them a B plus overall. I know that don't average out. Y'all. We all went to school, and that don't average out. But I'm still gonna give them a B plus.
I'm gonna give the overall. I'm gonna get a defensive A. I'm gonna get the offense. I'm gonna put a minus by them. You know, they scored. They did what they were supposed to do. But I'm gonna give them a minus because they did not manage the second half well. That becomes important because one of the criticism, because I gotta be a little hard on them. One of the criticism that we've had all year is the Bears don't play full quarters. Now I know you're up in this game, but you're passing the ball with like 7 minutes left in the game, and you up 36-7. And why are you still passing the ball? I mean, run the clock out and get the game over. Get all your guys home with no injuries. You know, that give me the minus. That's, you know, like Montgomery had about 13 carries. He should have had 20. You know, 20 and 25. So those are just the little things of you're playing the analytics, but not the game in front of you. The game in front of you was over.
Right.
It was over. But what are you doing? You're trying to get Mitch to 300 yards?
That's what I told y'all. They trying to get Mitch 300.
That's not important. That's not important.
They trying to get Mitch 300.
When the game is over around 7 to 8 minutes in the game is over when you up by 4 scores. Get your guys off the field with no injuries. You know, you're not playing for stats. You're not trying to get this guy 300, this guy 200. So that's the only reason I give him the minus. You know, but other than that, you know, complete game.
Is Eddie Pinero still on injured reserve?
Yep.
You know, that guy that was supposed to be the kicker for this year.
And
we might as well keep him on injured reserve. I like this Santos.
He lost his
That's where he gonna be at.
Santos been playing good all year though.
Ain't he?
I've been saying he's been playing good.
Yep.
You want to know why? Because Santos in your head case. Santos goes, see the ball, kick the ball, and that's it. And when you take all that other fluff and BS out the way, that's all you think about. And they're calling timeout on Santos, and Santos will sit on the field like, all right, guess what?
What they say, a 30-second timeout? Okay, I'm still here.
I'm just making a full timeout.
That just
Anybody got any comments that I do want to mention this. When we were talking about in the pregame show, no matter if we pick the Bears, to win or lose, I don't think none of us saw that Texas would have only 7 points. You know,
I
matter of fact, we
didn't
didn't have neither team get that low of points.
Nobody's playing about that.
Well, I didn't think they have receivers that's going to be bagging groceries next week, though. I thought they
Right.
Hey, the Patriots used to win with those guys, though.
But that's the Patriots.
Yeah.
But that's just how it is. Like, it's like systems. Like, you get guys like in all types of sports, they may just suck here and go somewhere else to stars because people actually know how to use them. But my whole thing on this year was the Texans. Yeah, they're 4-7 or whatever, and they're not all that great. It's the NFL team. You know, a W's a W, and it does something for the psyche. You could beat some busters, but I can tell you what, if you took that Texans team and they play any college team, top 10 college team right now, they probably at least win by at least 3 touchdowns. I'm just saying, because it does something for the psyche when you see something positive, when you're winning, even if you're beating up on a depleted team. But we'll see how it works next week.
Right, which is what I said. Which is what I said last week on the pregame show. We just need to win. We just needed a win. That's all we needed. And not only did we get a win, we got a convincing win.
Yeah,
we got a convincing win. So the Vikings lost today.
Yay.
So we play the Vikings next week. So we'll see what happens. But you just got to keep this momentum going. And you know, I'm one of them people. I never look at like I want the Bears to lose to get a better draft pick, all that. I want them to win. Yeah. I want the Bears to go to the playoffs. I really do, because what happens is once you get in the playoffs, anything can happen. It's 1 week at a time. It's 1 week at a time. So, you know, our offense is starting to click a little bit. We just scored 30 plus points in the last couple of weeks. That's a good sign. So let's just go for the juggler and see what happens, man.
Hey man, look at your fan brother.
They're not making the playoffs.
You know what?
Oh, man, that's your fan brother talking about playoffs.
Hey! I saw that earlier. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to get on you about that one.
What team was that? And I don't remember what year. What team was that made the playoffs as a wild card and they went on to win the Super Bowl? Didn't it?
That was the Ravens.
No, that was Green Bay.
That was Green Bay.
I thought that was the Eagles.
They beat us.
Oh, never mind.
That was the Eagles. That was the Eagles. We're four.
I think it was. I never
Eagles too.
thinking about Green Bay. Y'all know I ain't never thinking about Green Bay.
Hey, Bernard, can I mention something?
That was 2010. That was 2010 when Green Bay was a wild card.
Yeah,
no, Green Bay in 2010, and I think that was 2018. The Eagles. They was a wild card team.
So trust and believe. I ain't thinking about Green Bay.
Right.
That's what we like.
I want to go off something you had said about the Bears not playing a full 4 quarters. I feel like if we would play another team tonight, we would end up losing because they only scored a field goal in the third and in the fourth. They only scored 6 points. So I feel like once the season prolonged and the Bears actually play a little bit better team, they can't score a field goal in the third and fourth quarter. It's like they put up big numbers in the first half, then the second half they don't. So I feel like if we play, luckily the Texans didn't have all the offensive weapons, but we can't do that against the Vikings or probably Green Bay again. Like the Bears can't do that. So
well, I don't know if you are about 20 plus points, you might be able to get away with it. I mean, I hear that, Donte. But if you are about 20 some points, they scored 30 points in the first half, and the Texans had 7. So you up by 23 points. It ain't too many teams. If our defense is gonna play, if our defense plays the way they're capable of playing, it ain't too many teams that's gonna put up 23 plus points in the second half on us. I understand what you're saying, young man, but
hey, but
I don't know.
Since you didn't do it this week, Jay, I have a caveat.
Caveat.
Here's this. What we were all talking about was controlling the clock. And I said something on the text. I'm like, you know what? Don't even snap the ball on any play in less than 7 seconds left. Right. What happens is now you reduce the number of plays you have to run. You're running the clock, and it sort of eliminates a lot of that riffraff too. So I think we would have beat Minnesota today, because what a lot of people don't realize, people look at these points and say, oh, it's great and all that stuff. Quick, Jay, Plank, even all y'all can attest. It looked easy. It's hard as hell to score 6 points against anybody, let alone 3 points, especially when you're down because you're pressing. So, but who knows?
Okay.
It was a bad
Yeah,
caveat.
I would
but I
say
had to do it.
if the Bears played the way they played tonight last week against the Lions, we would have won. And if they would have played that way against Minnesota a couple weeks ago, we would have won too.
We would have won. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
I absolutely agree. I have to commend the Bears. Their offensive line is looking good. They actually been looking good the last several games, even though they lost.
Yeah.
They lost 2 or 3 of those games, but the offensive line looked well, which goes to the point of coaching. There's a bunch of teams that have bad offensive lines, right? But you got to coach guys up in his play calling. I know sometimes some people want to argue that if you got a bad line, you can't execute plays. These are NFL players. You know what? You have to put them in a position to play to their strengths. You know, like I said, you go with double tight end sets if you have to.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jay say, maybe you go to an I formation.
Yep.
Correct. Maybe you leave your running back in the backfield on pass plays to chip the guy, you know, to help out in the protections. All those are play calling. Those are formation sets that you run when you have a struggling offensive line. But if you just don't do anything and just say, hey, our 5 guys got to protect, oh, that's not going to happen. You know, because if those guys are no good, then they're just no good. But you got to coach them. What you got?
You want to know why?
No, I was going to say, and then again, you have to think about it. Like I said, as bad as the offensive line for the Texans is, they gave up 7 sacks today. Deshaun Watson is having his best statistical year with a bad offensive line. So you just got to be able to coach people up. You got to coach them up. You got to coach them up.
Hey, guy,
I'm gonna tell you what's happening right now is the Bears' offensive line have finally accepted that Charles Leno Jr. is that drunk uncle at the party. You know when he come in the house, you know you put the plastic on the couches. You take all the glasses and you put paper and plastic cups because you know he gonna fall. You know he gonna spill some stuff. Everybody else can just kick it. So they know he gonna get an offensive penalty. So everybody's playing. They played today. It was like great. We told you, but we good. We put up all the good cups and the dishes.
Man.
Right. Hey, that's a great point. Just looking at the schedule we have next week, we have Minnesota, then we have Jacksonville, and we have Green Bay. And this week on the pregame show, look like our guest is going to be nobody from Julian.
Hey, Julian has been well represented this year, and they've done a good job.
They did a great job.
Because we know football. We know football. That's what we do. You thought we went to Julian for class.
Yeah, this week we're going to bring on the pregame show is going to be EJ Bassetti.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, EJ. Well, I won't get too much into it, but I was number 33, and when I played high school football, and EJ was number 33, and I always felt I was not going to disappoint EJ, even though EJ never seen me play, right? But I felt I had to live up to the number. And I always call EJ the original number 33, but EJ said he looked up to another 33 himself. But anyway, we'd like to thank everybody who watched us today on Facebook and those who watched us on YouTube. We like to say peace.